What's up? THiNK International. We're just chilling here in sunny San Diego with Carlos Nicasio. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
Now, here in San Diego, there's some incredible stuff happening amongst youth pastors. Is that right?
That's correct, man. We definitely doing it big here in San Diego.
Right on. Now, there's a youth pastors network that you help head up. How many youth pastors involved? What's going on with it?
Right now, we have about 36 youth pastors that are actually, involved in this network. But we have a network of about 100 youth pastors, and it's continuing to grow. So, definitely a lot of opportunity for youth pastors to come on board and be a part of it all.
That's amazing to have so many youth pastors, because usually in youth ministry, being in it, for a number of years, I was in it for, over a decade, man, youth pastors are the most insecure people. Man, I mean, I'm telling you, but to have that many involved with each other is phenomenal. How did this get started?
We started in 2007. Urban Youth Workers Institute funded a learning community here in San Diego, and so I started a learning community where youth pastors would come together once a month, and what we would do is we would read a book and then just come along at the end of the month and have dinner and talk about what our learning insights and what we learned about the book. And so that helped also in the process of accountability, mentorship, and just developing the youth pastors' leadership abilities and capabilities and so on and so forth.
Right. Now, you were just thrown into youth ministry, and a lot of youth pastors are just thrown into ministry. So you really saw a need for mentorship and leadership within this?
Oh, absolutely. I was just completely just thrown into the pool with no kind of lifesaver or anything like that. It was just learn how to swim in a big pool. And so because of that experience, I just felt the need to start this Youth Pastors Network and just give youth pastors opportunity to learn and to be trained and equipped and through that whole process, because I understood what it meant to just be thrown in a situation where I didn't really feel prepared to do. And I think a lot of youth pastors experienced that. And so we wanted to change that. And so we created the Youth Pastors Network here in San Diego.
So what exactly do you guys have going on right now as we speak?
Right now, what we're doing is this year we began to develop roundtables and dinners with youth pastors. And as a result of that, we formed what's called One Heart. And One Heart is really a collaboration of youth ministries and ministries. It's a senior pastor network, and we're the youth arm of that. Okay. But that is just one of the components that has kept us actively engaged in reaching our city's young people.
How do they become involved? Like if there's a youth pastor out there that sees this going on, is it just an open invitation? What's the protocol?
Absolutely, it's open invitation. What happens a lot of the times is senior pastors will hear about what we're doing, and so we'll get phone calls from senior pastors, and they'll ask us to, meet up with their youth pastors. And what I'll do is I'll set up a meeting. We'll have a lunch meeting. Make it really personal, make it really inviting, more than just talking on the phone and that kind of stuff. So we're intentional about building the relationship from the get-go, and so just meet up with the youth pastors and see what their necessities are, and therefore we can begin to provide whatever needs they have, and just bring them and introduce them into the circle of youth pastors that are already working together.
Right. You'd mentioned training and all that stuff. Scholarships for youth pastors to go to school?
Absolutely. We have, through the network that we work with, there's a lot of different resources that we're able to offer these different youth pastors. This year we have about 4 youth pastors from San Diego that are going to be attending Fuller Seminary, the Fuller Youth Institute, which is one of the cutting-edge urban youth ministry training programs in the country. And so we connect them with Fuller. Fuller provides up to 85% of the tuition fee on a scholarship. So these youth pastors are getting a Fuller Seminary education in urban studies for next to nothing. Wow. And so that is just one of the resources that we have as in the Youth Pastors Network that we provide to some of these youth pastors.
Individually, in each youth ministry and stuff, we can do a lot, but man, collectively coming together, you can do a ton. Are you guys doing some events? Have you guys throwing some events that are going to impact the greater city area?
Absolutely. We did an event this past summer, which was called the One Heart San Diego, and that event drew over 500 kids, 36 different churches. Wow. And so we try to host 2 events a year. One in the summer and one in the fall. And so we come alongside also other events that are already happening in the city to really help reinforce what other ministries and churches are doing. But we're working on big projects for 2011 and doing some events that will for sure impact the greater San Diego area.
Now, with the greater San Diego area being so big, it's vast. I mean, every different economic stratosphere. I mean, the poor, the rich, the different neighborhoods. Can you sum up a little bit of what the pulse is for the young people of this area?
Definitely a lot of urban communities. Obviously here in the downtown area, near the downtown area, right, we see a lot of the different urban communities. And so, one of the things that we do as we coming into the inner city is really begin to look at the demographics of the city, the makeup of the youth, sure, of the youth that are living within these communities. So we'll do things like we'll go into some communities and we'll do like a survey study, so to speak, on, right, for example, violence. We'll go in and talk to students about how does violence affect your community, or have you been impacted by any violence, such as maybe a murder in your family or just a drive-by shooting in the area. I mean, real stuff. And so we're able to just see the diversity of all San Diego within the inner city, because from here it's kind of spreads out. Yeah. And so our main goal and our main focus is inner city urban youth.
How can a youth pastor or other youth pastors in other cities start what you've started here?
It takes commitment, number one, right, from the get-go, with the very first person that has a heart to do what we're doing here. And then it takes a lot of on the ground, meeting with youth pastors, taking the time aside, investing in the youth pastors, building relationships, because what we don't do is we don't just invite someone to come out and be a part of something and never contact them again. We're actually really intentional about building long-term relationships. And what that's developed for us is not only the partnerships, the friendships, but also those long-term relationships. So just being very relational has been the key to the success that we've had.
What's in the future for the Youth Pastor Network of San Diego?
We're looking to do youth pastor roundtables, local roundtables, regional roundtables, and national roundtables. And what I mean by that is we'll have 3 different roundtables throughout the year. One will be just local youth pastors. The other one will be another gathering of local youth pastors, bring in some regional influential leaders, right, from the region, and then do a national where we pull in a national leader who's influencing youth ministry in America, and be able to get those kind of leaders in front of the local youth pastors.
Now, a website that our viewers out there can check out?
For more information, you can go to theremnantsd.com. You will click on the tab, it says YP Network. Just click on that and you'll be able to see the vision, the mission, right, the whole aspect of both the Youth Pastor Network and the One Heart movement.
That's so great. Thank you so much, Carlos. Everybody check it out. Good stuff's happening with the young people of San Diego. THiNK International, we're out.